Problems that Liquid solves are that it gives you a way to have a separate blockchain where you can deploy cool technology projects without necessarily deploying a whole separate currency. You want to innovate, right? You want to build cool new stuff. And the way to do that seemed to be that you had to take the Bitcoin source code and fork it and create your own altcoin, basically, and say, on this altcoin, I'm going to do all this cool stuff. But then when you do that, you potentially expose yourself to legal or regulatory risk. You expose the world to a lot of kind of moral hazard. You create this new market that's extremely illiquid and require people who want to use your system to interact with that market in order to get on and off of your system. And so you are limiting your own adoption by doing this. And you're also kind of creating a honeypot for scammers and for people who want to do pump and dump schemes, who will move into these illiquid markets and just screw all of your retailers. So the idea behind a sidechain is, well, maybe we could create a separate blockchain and we could do some cool stuff. We could introduce multi-asset support. We could introduce confidential transactions, which hides all of the amounts and all of the asset types within transactions on the system. We could introduce some new opcodes. We could introduce covenants, which lets you do some things like vaults or potentially some DeFi-like things. You can have reliably timed 1-minute blocks. So the idea here is that we have a platform where we can quickly deploy new things, where we can maybe require more hardware from our users and more technical, basically put more load on our nodes than you would be allowed to in Bitcoin, because Bitcoin needs to work in a much wider, more diverse set of environments. You can do things that are riskier. You can do things that are newer or deploy cryptography that's under iteration because you have the ability to change quickly. And you can do so without creating a new market, basically without introducing all of this moral hazard.